Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about the Google Ads business name and business logo assets that you can add to your account, or some people still call them ad extensions. That's what they used to be called. To get an extra 20% more profit from your advertising account as it exists right now. Now, this is really easy to do if you've already done the Google Ads advertiser verification, which you're gonna have to do at some point anyway if you're gonna follow the tutorials on my videos that I share here and grow your account. But even if you haven't, the advertiser verification is not that bad, and you'll be able to get this 20%. Now, there's a few tips that I'm gonna give you so you understand how to do it right, so you really do get the 20%, because there is some key details there. And then also, I'm gonna explain why you get the 20%, specifically break that down, as well as when you're going to get the 20%, because it's not instant, bam, wham, bam, instantly done. So after a little bit of time, you will get the 20%, but it takes some time, and I'll explain why that is as well. So that's the basic overview of what I'm going to cover on this video here today. Getting into the content, there's a new ad asset, which an ad asset, again, what this is, in case you're not you were curious what this is again, or just in general, it's, you can add site links to your ads. If you have your ad, it's what shows up at the bottom. In this case, it's what shows up at the top, but you know how you usually have your site links down there, or call out extensions, or call outs is what they're called now. Call out, or you can have a phone number or location at the bottom of the ad to make the ad bigger, give more information to the user, which of course increases, generally speaking, the click-through rates, which then makes you more money, drives down cost per click, and so forth. That's ad assets. Why Google changed this to ad assets instead of ad extensions, which they've called it for 15 years, I don't know, because ad extensions makes a hell of a lot more sense, but ad extensions, ad assets is the same thing. Ad extensions is just what they call it now. Google calls it now versus before. But so anyway, there's this new ad asset / ad extension you can add to your Google Ads, like a site link, like a call out extension, that you can add to your account or campaigns, or technically both is what it would be. That will automatically, though, increase your click-through rate on your ads, which are going to then automatically, after a little bit of time, automatically increase your profits to go along with it. Because basically, again, anything that increases your click-through rates, not just on Google but anywhere, you're going to make more money on your ads. Why? Because essentially, with Google's quality score system, and this applies elsewhere, they call it pay-per-click advertising, but really what you're doing is you're paying per ad impression, or per time your ad shows up. Why? Because if your click-through rate, or number of times people click on your ad out of 100 times of your ad showing, is lower click-through rate, your cost per click is going to automatically go up. Well, when you're paying more per click for the same clicks, of course your ROI on your investment is going to go down. So everything that you're doing on Google, as well as on other platforms if you're running ads there, is about getting that click-through rate up as high as possible, so that you can make as much money, as much ROI from your campaigns as possible, given that you don't want to pay any more than you have to for the same clicks. Furthermore, obviously, if you get higher clicks on your ad, in terms of your ads are profitable already, you just want more clicks, anything that increases click-through rates will make sure you're leveraging any ads that you are running that are profitable more than they were before. More clicks from the same audience, more profit from that audience. So for the multiple reasons, this is going to increase your profits you're making from your Google ads that you're running now, make them more profitable, or just get them profitable potentially if you're not quite there yet in terms of the ROI you're seeking from your Google ads. So with that said, business name and logo to your ad, because obviously if this is a pretty shitty version of what an ad looks like on Google, but bear with me here. Here's your headlines, here's your description. Up above, normally what's here is your domain name. What you can have in place of the domain name is your legal business name. Key thing being legal business name to show up instead of your domain name. And then also your logo can show up in this spot where there's a circle Normally this would be like a little globe and grayed out. It's a gray circle with a globe on it. And if you're wondering why this is a gray globe versus a logo, a company's logo on some people's ads and not on others, it's down to this business logo ad asset being added to the account for the people that have the logo versus the gray globe. Okay? So these both work together. You would get some additional profitability from your ads if you were to add one versus the other, but because it's they both require the advertiser verification to be completed to do both of them, there's no reason why you wouldn't go ahead and do both. I can't think of a single reason why you wouldn't do both of these, because they both are going to increase your click-through rate. I do know that for a fact. I know that for a fact because sometimes we've actually only added the logo and not the business name, for the reason that the legal name that the company had wasn't related to the brand. Because what people will do, going into this whole point here, in order to, like I mentioned before, you got to make sure you can have your company name versus your domain name here, and your logo versus a gray circle with a globe on it. You got to have the advertiser verification done inside your Google Ads account. Well, if you do the advertiser verification, they want your legal name, they want your legal papers to prove who you are. Then you can have your business name and your logo showing up at the top of, or above your ad. Well, if your legal name is like Jones's XYZ Industries, and your website brand, like what you have showing on your under your logo, says Jones's Soda Pop, well, there's a disconnect there. You cannot get any benefit by having your business name there in that case that says Jones's Ventures, not Jones's Soda Pop. And then you should just not do the business name in that case, because I can tell you we've tested this out, already made that mistake, so you don't have to. Unless your business name, your legal name of your business, matches what your users see and experience on your website that you're taking them to, don't do this business name ad asset / extension. Just leave it the domain name, because it'll be better than what you have for the legal name of your company there. What I would suggest to you, though, if this is the case and your company name's like Jones's Ventures Inc. versus Jones's Soda Pop, when you're selling Jones's Soda Pop on your website that you're taking users to from your ads, go ahead and register a new damn company name for this purpose alone. An extra 10-20% more profit from your ads, amounts to millions long term. So what is it to go spend $200 to register another company name with LegalZoom or whatever the hell, which can take you an hour or 30 minutes or whatever that an assistant could even do for you, to register a business name that's Jones's Soda as the company name, so that in the spot where you can have the business name versus the domain name, as it exists already on your ads, it says Jones's Soda Pop here. So they see your logo here, Jones's Soda Pop, and then right next to it, Jones's Soda Pop. That's going to make your ad more enticing to click on, increase your click-through rates, and then therefore increase your profits in both of the ways that it increases your profit that I mentioned before. Part of where you're getting an increase in profit to get an additional 20% in profit, once this is executed on both logo and business name, you're going to get about a 10% increase in click-through rate on your ad right away, or nearly right away, I'll say. Anytime you make a change inside your ad account, you're going to have negative volatility in your results, because the ad system, the ad algorithm that drives whether certain ads are seen or not seen by users on Google's platform has to do on previous data on what works and what doesn't work. If you make a change, the algorithm says, oh shit, I don't know what I didn't know. I don't know what I knew before about this ad, so I'm going to go back to running this part of the time until we figure out that this ad performs the same way as it did, and it should show up in the same places that it did before. Because advertising on a certain keyword doesn't guarantee you show up for that keyword every time. There's a thing called search impression share, which tells you how often you show up, for people that type in that keyword. Google's dissecting all the people that search for a certain keyword and decides if you should show up for somebody that's male versus female searching for that keyword versus somebody that's old versus young and so forth. And so you make a change, and the bigger the change you make in your account, the more the algorithm's got to reevaluate whether or not they should show you in the same places that they did, even though you expect that they should take a change and assume everything's going to work the same way it always did. The algorithm doesn't do that. So whether you make a change that's positive or negative, if the change is going to get you more results, what you'll typically see is the results going negative before they go positive. You got to expect that going in. When you make this, and even though this is a tiny, tiny change, you're still going to see negative volatility in your numbers. So you're going to see some volatility. I'd say probably 30 days in, you should see your click-through rate come up because things have stabilized enough for that. How much you're paying for clicks is going to go down within the first 90 days, okay? Because Google's quality score system that determines how much you're paying per click is going to reevaluate your quality scores once it sees you have a high click-through rate, and it's gotten enough data to know your high click-through rate's not just a fluke. It's based upon a few hundred clicks worth of data, and then it's going to lower your cost per click around 10%. Then your overall profits that you're making is going to go up. You're going to have your full 20% increase in profits through adding this logo and business name to your account. So that's where your 20% specifically comes from. So don't be discouraged when you do this and say, oh, F that Corey telling me to do this, my results are going backwards. If you wait the 90 days, I promise you'll have these results. If you don't, come back and chew my butt out here in the comment section and I'll address it, but I guarantee that's not going to happen. So wait your 90 days, do the work, then reap the rewards 90 days in after things that the system that Google has reevaluates where you need to be and should be, where you should be placed, and that you're getting higher click-through rates and give you the full benefit of what you just did there. So as far as the logo here, just a quick word on that as well. Don't just do what everybody else is going to do in this situation, which is to take their logo as is and then put that in the place for the logo. No. Make a square version of your logo if you don't have one, if you will. Or, because online, like on social accounts, there's usually a rectangular version of your logo, and then there's a square version of your logo. And so people do that now, so that on social media, your little logo that shows up on your, where if you're going to comment, what shows up next to your name there, it looks legitimate, whereas you have the square logo is like the full version of your logo. Make make the best square version of your logo that'll fit this circular spot to be as attractive as possible, so you get the actual full amount of increase in click-through rates and the full amount of increase in profit you can get from this. Don't just try to put literally speaking, no pun intended, a square peg in a round hole here by taking a square logo and making it fit in a round hole that's meant for a rounded version of a logo here. Have your designer make a new version of your logo that fits that spot if you expect the return. Otherwise, they can't promise you the 20% here. So you want to do that as well. Then of course, I would recommend, by the way, some brighter colors for the logo, because anything that is red usually captures attention at a higher rate than other colors. So red would be the best color I would use for this if you can. Generally speaking, you're going to have one object in that circular logo. You're not going to be able to do anything else. So if you're selling soda, it should be a little picture of a soda bottle. If you have a company that is named like Jones's Fasteners, put the first letter J in your logo and put that as your logo. In that case, that would be one example of where you could do it. Or in that case, you could put like a little bolt, which would be potentially even better. And if you're not sure, go ahead and split test it. Try it both ways. See what happens. Because Google gives you stats on your ad assets and how well they do. Well, you can try both of them and just find out. You don't have to guess. And then you'll find the high click-through rate which one works better, and then use that moving forward. Just set a reminder in 90 days to come back, see which one did better, even though Google will push the one that automatically starts to work better on their own. But you could come back and just pause the one that doesn't work ultimately, and so that you have to wait around for the algorithm to eventually just shut down completely the one that is lagging behind. You just kind of force it, if you will. So it doesn't test it doesn't test the crappy one out longer than it needs to, so to say. So anyway, that's the general gist there of the whole thing. The advertiser verification has to be done for your business to do this, and it's a pain in the butt to do. But if you start spending more money in your ads, or you're spending a few thousand a month, at some point you're going to be asked by Google to do the advertiser verification anyway. So you might as well just do it now if you plan doing big things with your advertising account, because eventually they're going to do it. And guess what? Most of our clients, it's not in a time that they want to do it. It's during their peak season. They're already busy. Might as well do it when you got time versus later when you're totally busy as hell, and now you got to deal with this thing, which when you outsource it to an employee, the employee is going to hit a roadblock. It's something almost the business owner has to do, unless you're already like doing 10 million a year in sales, and then somebody else should be competent enough to handle that. But for the most part, it's usually the owner that has to deal with it. And sometimes they don't have the paperwork to even do it. They give you 60 days, or specifically 30 days, to get it done. And if they don't, your ads get shut off. And then you're scrambling to get your paperwork, your articles of incorporation, all this shit. And you could have just did it ahead of time and not had to worry about this artificial time limit to deal with before your whole account shuts down. And if your account shuts down, guess what? When that baby gets turned back on, your results are not going to be the same as when they were shut off. Anytime your ads get shut off more than like a day, your performance is going to go down, and it's going to take time to get back. And the longer they're shut down, the longer of time it's going to take to get back. If you have your ads shut off for even 5 days, something like that, it can take 6 to 8 weeks for your performance of your ads to come back all the way. I've seen this multiple times, which is why you always need to have your account funded, and you need to have backup payments methods. So if your bank blocks charges from one for whatever reason, you automatically always have a second. So you never, ever, ever have that problem. Furthermore, you probably add a bank account as a payment option, so that the card, that a bank can shut down a payment from a card, but they won't shut down a payment from a bank account. And Google seems to prefer you adding a bank account anyway, because to them, they know they're never going to have a problem billing you. So when you're compared side by side with your competitors who want the same customers as you and the same placements on Google as you, they're going to want to push yours more, because they know you're more likely to stick around and run your ads on a more stable basis, that their algorithm favors the people that they think is going to be running their ads the most stable, because they can figure out easily how to place you in the ad system on the search engine for their users, to give their users a better experience, when they they got somebody reliable that's going to not be there, or there and off and on being there sometimes, versus it's going to be there for the next few years because you got a account that's you got a account that's tied to a bank account, and that is the most likely to not ever have funding issues, if you will. So I know I'm getting a bit off track there, but go ahead and do the verification. Just get it out of the way, and then so you can take advantage of this, and then you don't have the problem with meeting a deadline to get it done later on and have your account get shut off potentially because you couldn't get stuff done in time. Or if you don't have an ad manager, you won't even potentially notice the email that comes from Google saying you need to do the advertiser verification, which they, by the way, send multiple. But in case you don't notice it, goes to spam box, your ad gets shut off. Now you just took a $50,000 hit in profit because your ads got shut off a few days. You didn't notice it right away. So then it was 5 days before you got your ads turned on. And then now it takes 6 weeks for your account performance to get back up to where it was again. So it can be a major, major issue down the road. I've had people, that kind of shit's happened to before. So anyway, I think I pretty much have spelled out most of what I could tell you about this. So I'll pretty much, I guess, just wrap it up with that. If you have any questions about anything I covered, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. if you have any ad-related questions you'd like to ask about Google, Facebook, so on and so forth, feel free to ask me as well. I love to answer my questions of my viewers, and that's how I give back for you taking the time to watch my channel and subscribing. And speaking of subscribing, if you want to have the best information to follow on how to make real money with your ads, you should subscribe, as I'm doing nothing else all day long besides doing ad strategy for clients. I'm not a YouTuber selling courses and trying to do all that crap. I'm primarily running strategy for clients for a few dozen ad accounts on an ongoing basis, and the information I share with you is just what works and what doesn't. So if you want to know the real on what's working and not get information that's speculation from other people that don't run an ad agency like I do and just do the strategy for the clients at the ad agency, then you should subscribe to this channel. Furthermore, if you want to have other excellent advice, you can go ahead and subscribe to my blog at guaranteeppc.com/blog, where I've got other content for myself, as well as my column on entrepreneur.com, where you can see information about what works and what doesn't work out there to stay away from in today's current environment. So this stuff can make you a lot of money because I give you practical information on how to make money, not just, this does this, or you can potentially do this, but no, here's actually how to make money. That's what we specialize in this channel. Beyond that, if you are looking for an ad manager to get you guaranteed results on your campaigns, this is what we specialize in. I'd love to be able to potentially see if we can work together. If you reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com, I'll give you a free assessment of what you're doing and tell you how I would get more sales results on your campaigns. I don't charge anything for that. Furthermore, if we can work together, it looks like you have something that's really good that'll sell well, and I can help you out, then I don't charge any fees until you get more sales results on your campaigns, or until you get to a certain mark with any startup campaigns you were thinking about running. So if you want to see if we can work together, reach out to me. We don't work with just any client, but if it looks like there's a good match there, then we can go ahead and do something, and I'll work with you on a contingency basis like that. Beyond that, if you don't want an ad agency to help you just manage your campaigns, get your results on autopilot like we're going to do for our clients normally, if we've worked in your market though, you could use the templates that we use to already get results in your market, such as if you're a plumber, we've already gotten great results for another plumber. Use the ad templates and landing page templates we used in that space already to get the same results we had to build up over years to find out exactly what works in an industry for yourself, without having to spend all the time and money and effort to figure out what we had to figure out in your market to get those results. You can reach out to me and at my firm and find out if we worked in your market, and if so, what results we're getting in your market. And then with that, we can tell you what we would charge as a one-time fee to get the same ad templates, landing page templates, and so forth, so where you can literally copy paste results into your own account for your market. And these templates work so good, by the way, that we have people that just start up side businesses and then outsource all the work and take a 10% cut of the revenue as a second, passive income venture, just because the templates work so good. They set a business up like that, and they get more interested in that over time. So anyway, if you're interested in that, reach out to me. I'll let you know if we've worked in your market before and what results we've gotten in it, or a market that you might be interested in. But I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, you thought it was informative, and I hope to see you on the next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.